Joellen and I were talking in the break about some news that's come out about our population increase coming back in Tampa Bay, right?
Pretty exciting. In the last, I would say, week or so, our population growth is doing great.
Yeah,
people are moving into the state.
And we had the opposite of that. 2 and 3 years ago, we had people moving out of the state. We were losing our retirees to the Carolinas, to Georgia, and now they're coming back in droves. And on top of the population increase, that's something that drives the demand for our real estate market. If we have people moving from New York and the Midwest and Michigan and Indiana and Illinois, it's increasing our population, but it's also increasing our demand for housing. More homes are selling to those folks. A lot of them are retirees that are maybe buying the home before they're ready to retire, but they're starting that process early because they know values are rising. And certainly some of them are relocating, from a corporate standpoint, and we have a lot of military people that are PCS from another base to MacDill. The interesting thing about the population growth, though, is what some home sellers fail to think about this time of year in selling their property is as November hits, you'll have the folks that have lived up north their whole life. They've got I would call it a mental block about real estate during the holiday months. They think that it dies and slows down. And it may very well in those markets where it gets cold. Yeah. It's been cold here the last few days, though. Yes. I hope it doesn't start snowing soon, because if it starts snowing soon, I'm moving even further south. But when it starts to get a little chilly here, people are used to what happens up north, and the real estate markets die. I have friends in New Jersey that November 1 hits and they're packing it in. I mean, they're done for the year. They're starting to plan for next spring, and we don't have that here. We don't have that huge seasonal fluctuation. And part of the reason for that is because these next couple of months we have an increase in our population. We have people that have extra money, that have retirement money, that buy homes the next couple of months because they're here, because they have time off, because they're looking at retiring. So, or they spend part of their season here. And you know that the population increases if you drive out to Clearwater Beach or go along Gulf Boulevard during this time of year, and it's much more congested. And so this is a time of year when it's actually a great opportunity for a lot of home sellers to sell. If you're selling a property that could be a potential target for someone buying a vacation home or someone buying a retirement home, this is a great time of year to sell your property because you have that increase in population. And it's interesting because people don't really think about that. They think that the real estate market slows, and here it doesn't happen that way. We don't see that slow down as much. Again, you see a little bit of a slowdown in certain markets, maybe that are really family geared, but for the most part, you still have families relocating. You still have snowbirds wanting to retire in some of those neighborhoods, and really the idea behind people retiring down here, people think that everyone that retires down here is going to go to a 55 plus condo, and that's not the case. I mean, they're buying in West Chase and South Tampa, and they're buying in neighborhoods that are labeled family neighborhoods because that's what they want to be around. They're not wanting to go into a home. They're just retiring. They want to hang around people. They want to see kids and families and the holidays. So it's definitely a great time of year to sell your home. So don't think, if you're listening to the show and you're thinking about selling your home, whether it's with us or with any other agent, whatever advice you're getting, don't think that you shouldn't sell your home these next couple of months. Don't think you should pack it in, because in reality, we have an increase in population, and our real estate market, December historically for our company is the first or second best month of the year.
Wow.
And it's because of that purpose. Yeah. There is an increase in population. You also we had Bob Enriquez from the property appraiser's office on a couple weeks ago, and you get people that want to get in for the homestead exemption. Yeah. Because if they wait and close in January, during the next calendar year of the homestead, they pay artificially higher taxes for a year, and their assessments get locked into that next year's values instead of now. So it's definitely better for a lot of people from that purpose to get in and buy now. So,
and I was going to mention that too. You said historically it's your busy month. Us too. We tend to have that last minute year-end push. Like you said, people trying to get into the house. New home builders trying to
get stuff closed,
stuff off the books. Yeah, so
and there's a lot of financial reasons why that all happens. The homestead exemption is a part of it, and I think again you also have the emotional impact of people maybe setting a goal and wanting to own a home, and maybe they're procrastinators and they've waited a little too long, and I like I said, I tell people all the time, if you're thinking about selling your home, there really isn't a bad time in Tampa Bay. If you're up north, yeah, you want to wait. You only want to sell during certain times. But there really isn't a bad time of year here to sell a home. You get different things. You know, you get different benefits different times of the year, and you know, especially if you've got a property that could even be geared as more of a vacation home. This is in season for you. You know, I had somebody not long ago have a condo on Gulf Boulevard out in Madeira Beach, and you know, they were thinking about putting their home on the market, their property on the market, and it was clearly a property that'd be a target of someone outside the country, you know, which we market a lot to with our higher end. It was a very high end condo, and they're like, oh, you know, we're going to wait till the spring or summer. Like that would be like Walmart saying, you know, we're not going to sell any flat panel TVs the rest of the year. We're going to wait till spring. Like this is the end season for your product. Like this is the time when you'd want it on the market. You know, if Walmart just flat out said, hey, we're not selling any more flat panels the rest of the year, people would be outraged. But they don't think about that, you know, from the real estate perspective. So it's definitely the time of year that you would want to, you know, want to sell that type of property because you're going to have more people around it. You're going to have more people taking vacation, more people that have money, you know, that are taking that time off.